What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another rebuild today here on the channel. Today we have the Charlotte Hornets, a team that was technically a play-in team last year, did not end up making it to the playoffs. Today we got a normal 3-year rebuild with them. I'm super excited about this one. So the main focus of this team for us is obviously going to be Lamelo Ball, a young budding superstar point guard. I think without a doubt he's going to be on this team with the entirety of this video. I do not really see myself finding any sort of trade for him. Along with him, we do have Terry Rozier in that backcourt. They drafted James Bouknight. I think this team is set up for success. There's obviously a very young core here. They signed Kelly Oubre Jr. this offseason. They still do have Hayward, Bridges. There's a lot of young talent here to work with. So pretty much the same as every other video. The goal is to win a championship within 3 years. But what I want to hear from you guys right now is what sort of other videos you guys do want to see on 2K22. Obviously, I'm probably going to be sticking to rebuilds for the majority of 2K22. But if you want to see historic rebuilds, rebuild challenges, anything like that, make sure to let me know down below in the comment section. As always, you guys can do me a favor if you're new around here. If you're new to the community, hit that sub button, join the community. Stick around a while. Let's get into this one. All right, so getting into this rebuild right now, we'll do it basically I always start out doing in these videos. We'll do a quick roster overview, see what this team's looking like before we do make any trades. So I mentioned to open the video, Lamelo Ball, 100%, most likely not going anywhere throughout the entirety of this video. Ish Smith is his current backup. That's something we'd probably like to work on eventually. They did re-sign Terry Rozier to a pretty big contract extension. Am I going to keep him the entirety of the video? I don't really know. It really all depends on how he plays, how the team's doing. He probably will have some pretty decent trade value. So, again, we'll cross the road when we get there. And I mentioned it also to start the video. I absolutely love James Bouknight. I think he's going to be very good in the NBA. So, he's probably not going to start for us, but we'll probably try to get him a decent amount of minutes at some point in time. All right. Small forward spot is an interesting one for me because Gordon Hayward actually looked really good at certain points last year for the Charlotte Hornets. I just don't know if age-wise he matches up with this team super well. Besides Hayward, they also signed Kelly Oubre Jr. this offseason, who I would like to use a decent amount in this video. It's a pretty cheap contract, 2 years, $24 million. Basically equals out to around 12 a year. We have Jalen McDaniels. Pretty decent potential there. Wesley Iwundu probably really won't get much playing time. I love Washington. I love Bridges. Unfortunately, I'm probably going to have to make a decision on one of them, because one of their contracts runs out this year, the other one runs out next year. So, I'd like to keep them both. I just don't know how realistic it is. And then finally, this center spot for us here, Mason Plumlee is probably just a little bit of a patch for at least a year here. They came over from Detroit, I think. I don't really see him as a long-term answer. He might be here for a season. I might actually end up trading him even before we do simming any games. Kai Jones, Vernon Carey Jr., 2 younger options, probably not going to be good enough to start throughout the entirety of this video. So, we definitely need to address the center position at some point in time. That's kind of the one kind of real weakness on this team, I would say right now. Other than that, though, I think this team's in a really good spot. I'll see you guys with the trade or two. So here's what our first trade is going to look like. Mason Plumlee and Wesley Iwundu going over to Milwaukee. Brook Lopez, Rodney Hood coming back here. Might be saying, why would you just be getting another veteran center? And the reason for that one is pretty simple. He's on a multi-year deal. I can trade him this offseason. I really wasn't going to re-sign Mason Plumlee. At the end of the day, it's honestly kind of criminal that these two are the same overalls. I think Brook Lopez is a much better center than Mason Plumlee, but hey, that's 2K for you. First trade's in the books. And our second and final trade before we do start simming year number 1 is going to be this one here with the Phoenix Suns. Ish Smith and Rodney Hood heading over there. We get Cameron Payne in a second-round pick back. I said this in my video before 2K22, kind of, going over the ratings and stuff like that. The fact that Cameron Payne's a 76 overall, he got lower after the playoff run he had is absolutely insane to me, but it is what it is. He'll be our backup point guard for now, just making a little bit of an upgrade there. We're going to go ahead and set the rotation now. We've finalized the rotation here for year number 1. Here's how it's going to look. The starting 5 is pretty obvious in my opinion. Lamelo Ball, Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward. Maybe the one spot there was a little bit of confusion whether I was going to go with Miles Bridges or PJ Washington. I'm giving the nod to Washington for a couple reasons here. One, he has an extra year at team control. I think it's definitely going to help out if we do want to develop him in the long term. We also do have Bridges in a final year of his contract. Now, the reason that I'm having him come off the bench is pretty simple. If he comes off the bench, he plays less minutes. There's a hypothetical situation where he might ask for less money. I'd like to keep them both. This is kind of one of the options that we do have going for us. So, and I love Miles Bridges. I think his potential is crazy, but again, trying to think of this in the long term, I got to make decisions. We also have Brook Lopez starting at the center spot, who is on a 2-year deal. Bridges is going to be our 6th man. He's still getting decent playing time. It's not like I'm shafting the dude, giving him 10 minutes a night. He's playing 22. Other than that, we have Kelly Oubre coming off the bench, 18 minutes. Cameron Payne. We have James Bouknight. And then finally, Vernon Carey Jr. As much as I'd love to get Jalen McDaniels some minutes, I just don't need 3 small forwards here. And I do need a backup center, especially with Lopez only at a 79. So I hope you do understand that one, but he is here. I might try to find a way to get him into the rotation next year. So here's how it's looking for season number 1. I think this team could definitely be a playoff team. We might end up being a play-in team, though. We'll see, obviously, how the season does go for us, but I don't really think I'll be making any moves. If I do, I'll obviously show you, but if not, I will see you guys at the end of year number 1. Alrighty, so maybe not the first year that we were hoping for here in Charlotte. We rounded out as a 13 seed in the number 26 team in the power rankings. I'm not going to lie to you. I really thought this team was going to be a lot better than we actually ended up being. That being said, it only increases us in making moves this offseason. Giannis Antetokounmpo is your MVP. Cade Cunningham back to winning Rookie of the Year awards. I think Mobley won it in my first year of my video the other day. Drummond always wins 6-man in the first season. There's just no way his numbers are going to look anything like that in Philadelphia. Giannis also wins Defensive Player of the Year. Daniel Gafford, most improved. Typically don't see that one too much. And Monty Williams, Coach of the Year, 56 and 26 for the Phoenix Suns. So we're not even in the play-in. We'll take a look at the overall standings real quick, see what pick we are projected to get. We're currently the third worst team in the East at 30 wins. And yeah, that kind of ties us. So we should have around a top 5 pick, which is kind of what I'm hoping for. Maybe get somebody at, there's a lot of good centers in this upcoming class. We could definitely probably use one. We'll take a look at some numbers real quick on the year. Lamelo doing his thing. Just under 20 points a game. 7.5 boards, 7 assists, 2 steals. He's very, very good. Obviously not the problem here. Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward, PJ Washington, Oubre, Bridges, Lopez. Okay, so yeah, I think we just need another volume scorer here. And, I'm not necessarily saying that anybody on this team is going to do that right now. But I do think with a couple moves, maybe a draft pick or two, that we definitely could be in a good position heading into the next offseason. Philadelphia wins the finals in year number 1. Joel Embiid, your finals MVP. We've arrived at the start of our first offseason right now. We'll go through player retirements real quick. Melo calls it a career. Dwight calls it a career. Rondo, Paul Millsap, LaMarcus Aldridge, good to see. Dwight and Melo are the only two to make the Hall of Fame jersey retirements. Dwight and Melo as well. We will now hit my league meetings real quick, as I'm sure a lot of you do know. As always, just rejected. The coaching thing does typically tend to take a minute, so I'll do that on my own. But what I do want to see is the draft lottery. The Knicks have our pick. Seriously, what is that from? I have no idea what trade that's from, or at least off the top of my head. I don't know. I don't know what the protection is on it, or even if there is one. So I guess let's send the lottery. And yeah, we have the 7th overall pick. So there's obviously some sort of protection on it, which does mean in turn the Knicks are going to have our unprotected first round pick next year. We got to be good this upcoming season. I'm going to sign some coaches. I'll see you guys with our next move. So we've arrived here at the NBA draft. As I mentioned earlier, there are a lot of good centers in this draft class. Unfortunately, though, we do have the 7th overall pick, which means one of these guys here probably will not fall to us. I'm looking at somebody like Jalen Duran. Chet Holmgren's listed as a power forward here. I feel like, hypothetically speaking, he could be a center. This is the dude 7'1". I mean, I'll figure out something to do. So I'm going to try to move up. I don't know if it's going to be for Holmgren. I also wouldn't mind Jalen Duran. I'm pretty sure it's also Duran, unless I'm just wrong on that one. But other than that, though, I think there are a lot of options here for us. Obviously, we do have a decent amount of our starting positions filled out. But I do think a move or two is definitely not going to hurt this team. So, I'll probably make a trade right now, see how high in this draft I can get without giving up too many assets. We have the 7th overall pick and 2 second-round picks, which I'm probably not going to be using. So, hypothetically, who has, the 4th or 3rd overall pick? Let me just glance real quick here, see what my options are. 5th is Orlando. I'd like to maybe move up a little bit higher than that. 3rd is the Indiana Pacers. What, did they have a counter offer for me? No, nothing there. Let's see. I'd be willing to probably give you I don't want to really give up Kai Jones. I feel like I could use him. I have to hypothetically give up one of these two guys. They're both 21. The team control, they're both fine for the entire video. I know I played Vernon Carey Jr., but I'd honestly be willing to give him up. Just because, again, we're probably trying to target a center here. So they don't want to do that. How about if I give you 2 more second-round picks? I'd prefer to not give up a first-round pick if I'm only moving up a couple spots, but they still don't want to do it. I feel like this is lagging almost. I'd give you Nick Richards. Oh, wait, he's locked up. I'll give you JT Thor. That's my final offer. All right, cool. We have the 3rd overall pick now. I'm probably going to try to get Jalen Duran here. I'll actually stick with you guys through the draft. Just see what some of these options are for us here. Let's see who goes 1, 2. Summary so far. Chet Holmgren goes 1. Jaden Hardy goes 2. Not a huge surprise. All right, so we do have Jalen Duran here if we want him. I think it's a pretty smart move probably in the long run. He's overall as a C+ right now. Paolo Banchero's here. We're just absolutely loaded with PJ Washington, Miles Bridges, that power forward spot. I really don't think we need him, so we're going to go ahead and take Jalen Duran. I think it's going to be a good overall pick. I think he's hopefully going to be our center for the remainder of the video. He's going to be a 77 overall for us. That's pretty good. I'll see you guys with our next move. All right, so our first major trade of this offseason, we are pulling the trigger on this one. We are acquiring D'Angelo Russell here from the Minnesota Timberwolves. He's going to move to the shooting guard spot. I know he's a pure point guard. I know a lot of people always like to tell me that when I do get him and move him to the shooting guard spot. His overall might go down 1 or 2. I'm going to live with that. I think he's an upgrade over Terry Rozier, and it's nothing bad about Terry Rozier. I like Terry Rozier a lot. I think he played very well for us last year. End of the day, I still think D'Angelo Russell's a much better player. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to now move on from Terry Rozier. It's probably going to be for a new starting small forward. I think getting this team in a much better shape is something we have to do for this upcoming season, especially because now we don't have our 2024 draft pick along with our 2023 draft pick. So I'll see you guys with our next trade. So I don't know if this one's going to be possible. I don't know if we have the assets for it, but if we could get Brandon Ingram here from the New Orleans Pelicans, I think it'd be a slam dunk home run for us. Terry Rozier, and I'd be willing to give up Brook Lopez. We have Duran. Brook Lopez is not going to be starting. He's just basically wasting $13 million in cap space. I knew they weren't going to take that one straight up. We only have 2 first-round picks left. It is a little bit unfortunate. Fortunately for us, we did acquire Jared Vanderbilt as well in that D'Angelo Russell trade. And, of course, they can't afford him. So, is there anybody else here that would be willing to give up this a little bit cheaper? Maybe McDaniels if they want him, and they agree to that. Alrighty, Brandon Ingram, officially the newest member of the New Orleans Pelicans, is going to be my starting small forward. So, our starting 5 is all figured out. We head into free agency right now. Bridges is kind of like our one only big free agent, I would say. So we're going to bring him back without a doubt. Lamelo and Cameron Payne will still be our point guards. D'Lo and Book Knight still there. We'll play Ingram. We'll play Oubre. I think Vanderbilt, I'm hopefully just going to get a first-round pick for. Maybe same with Nick Richards. Just because I am getting Bridges back, there's really no reason to have him just chilling here off the bench. I think it'd be worth getting a first-round pick. So I'm going to re-sign Bridges on a multi-year contract. I'm not going to do the qualifying offer. And I'll see you guys at the rotation at the start of year number 2 after I'm done training these guys. So we're here at the start of year number 2 right now. Something that is very, very confusing for me is why D'Angelo Russell is an 81 overall. I tried to move him back to point guard. He's only an 82. When I traded for him, he was like an 84. 2K regression, man, is just something that just has never made sense to me, and I feel like it's gotten worse this year. The dude's 26 years old. He just came off a borderline career year, and you're telling me he goes down 2 overalls? That one I don't get. And it's not, yes, hypothetically, is he goes down 1 overall and you move him to shooting guard, which doesn't make sense, but he stays the same overall at point guard as he does at small forward, but goes down 1 at shooting guard. So I'm not going to sit here and bitch about 2K. I know nobody likes when I do that, but I'm trying to, kind of put that in my mind how that makes any sense. So it is what it is. Here's how it's going to look for year number 2. Lamelo Ball, D'Angelo Russell, Brandon Ingram, who's progressing quite nicely for us. I am giving the nod here to Miles Bridges. I think he's going to progress a little bit further than PJ Washington's going to. I re-signed him on a pretty nice contract. I'll show you guys the terms of that, if you will. It was like 3 years, around 19 million bucks a year. It's a 3-year deal. It was like 57 million, something like that. So good value for us. And then we do have our 3rd overall pick, Jalen Duran here, starting at center. I need this dude to be an absolute monster for us because this is not one of the positions I want to be worrying about this offseason. Our bench is actually really good. We have Kelly Oubre Jr., PJ Washington, James Bouknight, Cameron Payne, and Kai Jones is getting some minutes. Eventually, I'd maybe like to dial this back to a 9-man rotation. I don't know how possible that's going to be, but again, I'd like to try it. So this team is going to be a 10-man rotation for 1 more year. If it doesn't end up working out, we'll definitely do 9. I'll definitely be making some more trades this offseason. I'll see you guys at the end of year number 2 here. So a much better second season here in Charlotte for us. We finish it up as a 3 seed in the Eastern Conference. We're somehow also number 3 in the power rankings. Luka Doncic, his first career MVP, 36.5 points, 9.5 boards, 10 assists. He's always so close to a triple-double in these videos and always just misses it. Chet Holmgren, your rookie of the year. 18 points, 8 boards, 4 assists. Would have been cool to have him. I don't know why the game hasn't listed as a power forward. He actually might be a power forward in the NBA. I don't really know. Look at somebody like Kristaps Porzingis, who I guess technically used to be a power forward in New York and is, I guess, now more of a center in Dallas. But whatever it is, it's not a big deal. He wins Rookie of the Year. Wendell Carter Jr., 6th man, is in Boston. Giannis wins Defensive Player of the Year again. Jordan Nwora, Most Improved, and Doc Rivers, Coach of the Year, 59 and 23 for the Philadelphia 76ers. So we are in the playoffs. That is definitely a good sign. We got a matchup here with Cleveland in the first round. We'll go over some standings, and we'll go over some stats real quick before we do get into the playoffs. Wow, Milwaukee was not that good. Brooklyn's not that good either. Sometimes this game really confuses me. It really, really does. All right, let's look up some numbers real quick. Brandon Ingram, Lamelo Ball, both 20-plus points a game. That was the kind of the volume score I was talking about earlier that typically tends to help teams perform much better in these rebuilds. D'Angelo Russell still doing his thing. So, his overall is what it is. He's not necessarily playing terribly, but I don't know, man. After coming off a year at 22 points, I get that he was in Minnesota, but I would have liked to see him closer to that 20-point mark. But if we win, I don't really care who does well. Rebounds per game was Jalen Duran, our rookie center, and assists was obviously Lamelo Ball. So I mentioned it before. We got Cleveland here in round number 1. They're going with a lineup of Darius Garland, Bruce Brown, Isaac Okoro, Evan Mobley, Jarrett Allen. They got Mitchell Robinson off the bench. They have Lauri Markkanen off the bench. They have Kevin Love off the bench. A lot of tall people. All right, let's simulate the plan real quick. We are going to go game by game here with Cleveland. We end up winning game 1. We lose game 2 at home. We win game 3 on the road. We tie it up at 2 games apiece. It's now a best of 3. We are up 3-2 going into game 6 in Cleveland. Can we get it done? Come on. All right, game 7. Let's see if we can get this done, and we win. We do win. We're facing the defending champions from last year in the Philadelphia 76ers. Brickleberry, Simmons, Shake Milton. Joe Ingles is a tremendous addition to this team. I do not understand this front court whatsoever. This is not 1985. 2 centers at the power forward and center spot really doesn't work. But again, they won a championship last year, and they're probably going to kick my teeth in. So what do I really know? We lose game 1. We lose game 2. We lose game 3. and they call it a clean sweep. I guess at least, you know what? At least the 76ers are good in the game because they're really not that good in real life. Are they really going to go back-to-back right here? They win 4 straight. The quick gentleman sweep on the Dallas Mavericks and Joel Embiid is just way too good. I'm going to do a 76ers rebuild soon. I'm just kind of waiting for Ben Simmons to get traded because I feel like if I do one, he's probably going to get traded the next day. It's kind of just how my luck works. So we'll head into our final offseason here. Chris Paul does call out a career. Still an 89 overall, but probably going to be a Hall of Famer pretty easily. Mike D'Antoni, John Lucas both retire. Hall of Fame, Chris Paul. Surprise, surprise. Player retirements. Chris Paul gets retired for the Clippers, and we'll do this real quick. I will do a few more coaching things again. We're the Charlotte Hornets, so we don't have a huge budget. But again, we'll hop into the draft lottery. I don't think I traded for any picks. I don't see a Hornets logo anywhere. So we'll sim this. It's Wizards, Warriors, Raptors. I will see you guys with whatever move is next. So we moved on from James Borrego. I'll show you guys this one real quick. We signed Mike Stauffer, who I'm pretty sure is like a development guy at 2K. He's kind of in charge of like overalls and stuff like that. And he puts himself in the game. He has 5 stars in literally everything. So I went ahead and signed him. It's my first time signing him here on 2K22. I'm hoping it works out, but I don't know why the dude put himself in the game. Like, he puts himself in the game every year and kind of makes himself, like, really good every year. Like, you can just kind of switch up the names at some point, but it is what it is. All right, we have a new head coach. Hopefully somebody's going to lead us to the promised land because we need to go from not even making it to the East Finals to winning a championship in one offseason. So we do have 2 first-round picks, pick 20 and pick 23 from the, Dallas Mavericks and Memphis Grizzlies, respectively. I'm probably going to include those in some sort of trade. I'll see you guys with our next move. Here's our next trade. Miles Bridges, our 2 first-round picks this year, and our second-round pick this year heading over to Sacramento. We're picking up Tobias Harris, picking up Cam Birch. I think did not mean to do that. I think it's a good move for us. I think Tobias Harris is a much better player than Miles Bridges is. Again, it's nothing against him. I just think we need to make some big moves, and let's go ahead and get this done. So all of these guys are coming back. We do have a couple free agents. PJ Washington is one. I believe is Brandon Ingram a free agent? Or is he still under contract? Actually, he is under contract. Yeah, he is. Okay, so we have our starting 5 figured out. Point guard's Lamelo. D'Lo's a free agent. That is still what we need to figure out. He's definitely somebody we need to bring back. I also do want to get Washington back. He'll be a backup, so I will give him the qualifying offer. We're also going to re-sign D'Angelo Russell, who I'm not going to promise you I'm keeping here. I'm kind of regretting trading Scary Terry right now. I'm not going to lie to you. We don't have bird rights on Kelly Oubre Jr., which does kind of suck, so we cannot bring him back. We're going to bring both these guys back. I'll see you guys with our next move. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and fix a past mistake. We're going to try to get Scary Terry back in this team. I tried to get some other guys. Unfortunately, we just don't have the assets for it right now. They want Cam Birch. They'll give me Najee Marshall. That is fine. All right, Scary Terry, welcome back to the team. Hornets fans or whoever you are in my comment section saying, why did you make that trade in the first place? I don't know. I'm dumb. I'm sorry. Scary Terry is back here. It actually had a really good year last year in New Orleans of 19 points, 3 boards, 4 assists. So welcome back to the team. He is going to be our starting shooting guard. I really don't see myself making any other major deals. I think I think Tobias Harris is a really good upgrade at that power forward spot. I'm probably going to go 9-man rotation with Ingram not having a backup just because I do feel like it's important to have backup point guard minutes. So hypothetically speaking, Najee Marshall and what other position do I really need an upgrade at? I mean, I'll try Najee Marshall and Cam Payne just see if I can get anybody better off the bench. I mean, not that I have a problem with Cameron Payne, but I have the assets, might as well go ahead and look for a deal. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and see what some options are here for us at the backup point guard spot. DeLon Wright's not good enough for him to pull the trigger on that deal, I don't think. So I'm not seeing anything. I guess I will just see you guys at the start of year number 3. If I have a trade or not, I will see you guys with it. So I know we just acquired Tobias Harris, but I put him up in the trade finder and I actually got offered a really good deal. It's going to be Tobias Harris, 2 firsts, and Cameron Payne for John Collins and Buddy Hield, who I think is a great addition to this bench. Unfortunately, I just don't know if I'm going to be keeping him just because I do have James Bouknight. So numbers-wise, Tobias Harris was around 15 points a game last year. Not that points is all that I'm caring about. But John Collins overall is probably a much better player at this point in time. He's also younger. Welcome to the team. So now I do need to figure out who my backup point guard is going to be. I mentioned this a ton. I like James Bouknight. I'm not going to trade him. So it's going to be Buddy Hield, a first and a second. I need a new backup point guard. It doesn't really... Tyrese Maxey is honestly absolutely perfect. We also do get Norman Powell, who won't get minutes, but he'll be off the bench. I will now set the rotation. I'll see you guys with it before we do start simming the final year here. All right, that trade is in the books. We are all set here at the start of the third and final year with this rotation. We have dialed it back to a 9-man rotation. I think that's what is going to work out best for us. LaMelo Ball is up to a 93 overall. He's a superstar. I need him to lead this team to the promised land. LaMelo Ball, Terry Rozier, Brandon Ingram, John Collins, and Jalen Duran is going to be our starting 5. Our bench unit, I'm giving Bouknight the nod as our 6th man. I think it's going to help us tremendously to have a guard as the 6th man. PJ Washington still getting minutes here. We did acquire Tyrese Maxey, and then we do have Kai Jones if needed. I think this team's in a good spot. We have not yet even made it to an East Finals, and we're trying to win a championship this year. I'll see you guys at the end of the third and final season here in Charlotte. And in our final season here in Charlotte, we rounded out as a 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. We're also number 1 in the power rankings. It's what you love to see. Luka Doncic back-to-back in the MVP department, and Moni Bates your Rookie of the Year in Washington. Naz Reid, 6th man. Giannis wins his 3rd straight Defensive Player of the Year award. I actually don't know if I've seen anybody but Giannis win Defensive Player of the Year award in 2K22 so far. Just a little tidbit of information. Patty Williams, your most improved. Mike Stauffer, we go 65 and 17. Looks like his changes definitely helped us out a little bit. So we're going to be facing somebody in the play-in. Before we do, take a look at some standings real quick. We were 6 games up on the Boston Celtics as a number 1 seed. We did have by far the best record in the entire league. We'll also look at some stats real quick. As you can see, Lamelo Ball just did his thing. Got more minutes, played even better. I really like the way this team kind of turned out for us here. So we're heading over here. We can see the play-in real quick. It's Miami, Toronto, and it's Atlanta and Brooklyn. I'd prefer not to play Brooklyn, but of course I have to play Brooklyn. All right, Kyrie, Harden, Jason. What? Are I'm trying to like rationalize the fact that this was a 10 seed. This was a 10 seed. There's moments like this that I wish I just hit the, in the pre menu before you load in, you can hit turn off play in tournament. Wish I just did that. We'll go game by game with them right now. We are up 2-0. I mean, even if we beat them, there's no like rational explanation for this team. I don't play with injuries on to be a 10 seed. There's just not. We do end up winning, so I'm not going to sit here and bitch about it. But I mean, seriously, wow. New lineup here for Philadelphia. They've acquired De'Aaron Fox. He's their new starting point guard. They have Will Barton, Furkan Korkmaz. They moved Ben Simmons to the power forward spot. They haven't beat. Still got Andre Drummond going strong as their 6th man. I don't know about that one. I think we definitely haven't beaten the bench department, which is where we're going to have to take advantage of those small moments. We are up 3-0 on them, and we sweep them. Now we got Detroit, because Cade progresses like an animal in this game. Cade, Karis LeVert, Sadiq Bey, Marvin Bagley, Isaiah Stewart. Their bench is super deep as well. Oh, boy. All right, we're going to go game by game with them. I'm hoping we can go from basically not even making it to the East Finals to winning a championship in one offseason. We win that one, and now we got the Oklahoma City Thunder. Shea Giddey. They have Zach LaVine at the small forward spot. Didn't he start out his career in Minnesota as a point guard? Interesting the things that some of these teams do here. They're good. I feel like we might even be a little bit better. Also, sorry, my voice is just fully not here yet. So we're up 2-0 against them. We're up 3-0 against them. We will simulate. I know you guys like seeing gameplay, so I'll get a little gameplay here if this is kind of the game where we're going to be winning. And it looks like we're kind of going to be unless we choke. We're not choking this, right? All right, come on here, 2K. All right, looks like I kind of just got to hold it down here. We're up by 11. I'll get some gameplay for you guys. All right, we got 2:32 left to go in the ball game. I want to put the starters in right here. I just want to kind of get this out of the way. I know you guys like the gameplay. I'm just still like kind of tragically bad at this game. Scary Terry right by him. All I really do is pick and rolls. I know you guys have been watching me for a while. I've been watching me for like years. You'll know that's all I basically used to do, and it's kind of all that has ever worked for me. I'm just like so like. It's like actually kind of crazy like how even though like I'm not really like a gameplay 2K YouTuber, like actually how non-good at this game I am. Like it's kind of like you'd almost be like surprised. It looks like somebody who like is just hopping on for the first time is kind of playing, but it is what it is. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We can just keep going pick and roll. I mean, it's fine. I mean, typically the underman doesn't actually get able to stick with me, and if he does, okay. Oh boy, John Collins run. Try to keep up with Shea. I was just gonna do a little step back. Okay, well that one makes sense. I'm not gonna blow this. I don't know why it's auto taking timeouts for me. That's super annoying. All right, we got 152 left. Can I survive? I somehow actually played really good 2K the other day. I think on Tuesday when I uploaded this video. When I made the video of the Clippers rebuild when I 3-peated. If you guys didn't see that one, how junk the goddamn ball. You're 7 feet tall. When I did that one the other day, I 3-peated, and I actually played really well for the first season when I actually got some gameplay. Like, I was actually pleasantly surprised with myself, and it's not like I'm playing on, like, cheat mode. Like, I'm playing on All-Star. That's a foul. And one. Thank you. Like, I don't know. Some days I'm good. Some days I'm really bad. All right, I missed a free throw with Brandon Ingram. I'm still kind of getting the controls down in this game. It was like a 0% free throw, I'm pretty sure. But we're just going to hopefully kind of run. Oh, my God, seriously. We're up by 8. Are they full court pressing? They are. So I'm just going to try to run the clock out. Just push it up to Scary Terry right here. Josh Giddey should not be able to keep up with Terry Rozier. There's just no logical explanation on that one. Blow by him. Melo. Pass it. Okay. I'm not good. I'm not good at this game. Okay. Final possession here probably before we simulate to the end. There's no way we can blow an 8-point lead. Can I get a pick somewhere? Right here. Thank you. Melo, just pick and pop, please. Thank you very much. All right. We'll do one more possession. It's a 10-point lead. I think we'll probably finish it up after this one. I just really don't see myself blowing this if I hit simulate. I don't. If I keep playing in-game, you never really know what could happen, especially with how good Shea is. He hits that one. This will be our final offensive possession, whether good or bad, but we'll try to just kind of get a little bit of a fast break out here. I know I kind of want to drink. Dude, seriously, you're not clamping me in the backcourt. All right, can you relax here a little bit, Shea? Can we just, like, calm down a little bit? All right, there we go. Lamelo goes up, slam. I'll see you guys with the Finals MVP. We sweep Oklahoma City out of their own building, and Finals MVP goes to Lamelo Ball. Not a big shock. In 4 games, 37.5 minutes, he averaged 28 points, 5.5 boards, just over 10 assists, 3 steals a game, while shooting 63% from field goal percentage and 63% beyond the arc. The dude had a very good Finals performance for us. And we did finish this one up with a championship. So I was super happy about that. I definitely made a few mistakes in this video, but again, I'm kind of learning how the 2K22 does work. I'm kind of slowly narrowing it down day by day. Every rebuild I do get better. So we three-peated in yesterday's video. We won a championship in today's, not yesterday's, but we won a championship in today's video. So we're making progress on these. We're definitely getting a lot better. As always, you guys want to see any other videos, feel free to let me know down below in the comment section. I do apologize that I can't upload every day while I'm here at school. I know a lot of you guys do understand that. A lot of you guys are still asking me, hey man, why don't you daily upload anymore? I promise you, I will get back to it, hopefully over winter break, and then hopefully as soon as I graduate, we'll be daily uploading every single day. That pretty much wraps this one up, though. If you guys are new around here, feel free to subscribe to the channel. If you could leave a like down below, it helps me out a ton as well. Love you guys. See you guys all in the next one.